Oh my god, bro, this mini box is kind of insane. I'm not going to go over every card here, but I am going to talk about every theme that has to be spoken on, these being Red Eyes, Ancient Warriors, Amazements, Witchcrafters, Boojins, Fire Fist, and then a couple of generic cards as well. Alright, first things first, that Ancient Warriors. In the TCG, these guys have mostly been disappointing since release, and seen just as an OTK deck because the turn 1s they are able to put up just weren't strong enough. But realistically, in the context of Duel Links, this deck still has pretty nice turn 2 capabilities, but the turn 1 interruptions this deck can set up are actually pretty nice. The main ones I'm looking at are double Dragon Lords, which can bounce opponents' cards during their turn, and Juge Kong, who can negate a back row once per turn and a monster once per turn by sending continuous spells from the archetype from field to grave. This deck has really nice field swarming ability, and since they are Beast Warriors and most of them are level 4, they can be searched by with Tenki, and you can get additional normal summons with Tensu. But with only 3 backwards slots and the fact that you do also want to use your own archetype's continuous spells, you might not be able to take full advantage of the fire formations. But even so, this deck has great swarming, great interruption, and you won't need anything from other boxes to build this deck because it's entirely self-reliant and it has a good chance to be meta relevant in Duel Links. So this alone is something worth going into the box for. Amazements, in my opinion, is pretty insane. They are focused around traps that equip to either a monster you control or to a monster the opponent controls, and they give different effects based on whose monster they are equipped to. And these traps are usually pretty nice interruptions with the added benefit of also being versatile and also being searchable. This deck is super consistent, and if played pure with a bunch of its own traps and some generic traps, this could easily end up being meta relevant. But what's even better than that is that you can actually run an Amazement engine in your deck if your deck doesn't have its own normal summon to give you versatile interruptions and a bit of grind game. So we might even see this being played in BLS. And funnily enough, this archetype's boss monster has the same summoning condition as Multi-Faker, but instead of summoning an Altergeist from the deck, it has a quick effect that equips one of your archetype's traps directly from the deck to an opponent's monster, turning on those traps' interruptive effects. This engine, or even this deck as a whole, is definitely worth diving into this box for, especially since it's only a mini box. Witchcrafter mostly needs things from the Witch's Sorcery box, so if you don't have the Witchcrafter cards from that box and don't plan on getting cards from that box, then you won't be able to get full advantage from the Witchcrafter cards in this box. But if you are interested in playing Witchcrafter, then go watch Weatherman's Witchcrafter guide after this video and you'll be able to see just how much this box helps that deck. First of all, we got a search spell for the monsters finally that we can add back to the hand just like every other Witchcrafter spell. It's actually really insane for the grind game since we don't have to hope to top deck into a monster when we need to. We'll pretty much always have a lot of follow-up plays on top of the follow-up that the deck already has inherently. We also got a new starter with the Grave effect that gives us main phase recursion, which can be absolutely insane since we usually have to wait until the end phase to recur our resources. And probably the biggest deal of all is that we got a whole other interruption in Hain, who discards a spell to pop a face-up card. That going alongside the blanket negate of Vare can make this deck some pretty nice interruptive boards. But Hain also protects other spellcasters from targeting effects, meaning that not only do they have to play through the Hain interruption itself, but they can't target the Vare or the starters with something like a Chalice or a Book to turn off that huge blanket negate. So if they can target anything, they have to target the Hain, and the Vare might even be able to prevent that too. These two together on the field is such a big problem, especially the longer the game goes, because they'll also have a bunch of spells in hand so Vare can protect them both from battle by making them huge, also providing a really great way to OTK. Witchcrafters is about to be in its prime, fellas. Boojins have actually been completely crazy since the deck building box dropped. We haven't dropped any content about that box just yet. We are still trying to catch up on videos about Deep Emotion since that box was just so cracked and full of insanely good decks. But Boojin legitimately is a meta level contender, and they decided to support the deck even further in this box with a Link monster and Xyz monster. I should say that the Link monster is probably better for decks that aren't Boojins, especially since it conflicts with the Order of Chaos skill. However, the Xyz Kagasuchi mills 5 whole cards on summon, which could really turn on a lot of grave synergies for the deck. The fact that it requires 2 Beast Warriors though might open up to being used in other rank 4 Beast Warrior decks like Lunalights that might be able to go into this to mill 5 and potentially mill an Orchist card and get an Orchist combo going off using nothing but their inherent game plan. The Link monster on summon will summon a monster from hand and a monster from grave with the same level and immediately Xyz summon using them. You can see why this might be best in other decks, because in Boojins the 2 monsters that might be used to make this are probably going to both be level 4 anyway, so it could be seen as a little redundant. It's kind of funny how Boojin gets 2 support cards and both of them are probably more usable in other decks, but that's because Boojins is so damn good already that doesn't even need these. But if you guys want to see a Boojin advanced guide, it is on its way, because trust me, this deck is absolutely cracked. Fire Fist is another deck that got a lot of support from the deck building box. We might make a video on them as well, but it is worth noting that this box does give them a new Link monster, Peacock, which is pretty much an archetypal Link 2 that kinda acts like a Borrowload dragon, stealing an opponent's monster on attack in the same way as the Borrowload dragon to make board breaking in OTKs a bit easier. It's just that the monster you steal can't attack, the effect itself sends a fire formation as cost, the effect itself also targets instead of activates without targeting, and the opponent will get the monster back on end phase if they survive. Don't show this to Weatherman though, or else we are gonna have another Leo Dancer situation on our hands.
Damn, hold on. That's hard. Oh. Damn, that's hard, low-key. I'm hard, low-key. I'm hard, low-key.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no 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 fucking way, boy.
And as you can see, I am not dead!
Now in terms of generic cards, the ones I want to talk about here are the new Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, number 74 Master of Blades, Ferocious Flame Swordsman, and Bujinki Ahashima. I already talked a little about Ahashima, but I mainly want to talk about what decks this might want to be used in. Being able to go into a Link 2 if you have two monsters of the same level that on summon will summon a monster from hand and a monster from grave can actually be really spicy. The monsters you summon got to be the same level as each other, but they don't got to be the same level as the two that you actually used as Link material. And you could really go nuts thinking about all the different decks that could take advantage of this effect, but just for right now I'm actually thinking that Thunder Dragons might like to use this. They got a couple level 5s and a couple level 6s, and they float off Link Summon too, so you could use this to trigger your Thunder Dragons effects while also setting yourself up for a rank 5 like Chronomole Vimana or a rank 6 like Photon Strike Bouncer. Me talking about this has probably got the cogs spinning in your head too, so let us know what ideas you have for this card. Ferocious Flame Swordsman is the standard print of a card that has been in a selection box for a while now, so budget players are finally able to take advantage of this card in their warrior decks as a way to buff up their field and as a way to help facilitate OTKs with that floating effect. Number 74 Master of Blades is a generic rank 7 that will negate any effect that targets itself and then destroy another card on the field. So not only do rank 7 decks now have access to a way to OTK while ignoring most back row, since most back row targets and this guy punishes targeting, but this guy is also a psychic. And rank 7 decks we have at the moment aren't really playing psychics, so most of the time this guy is going to be immune to Ice Dragon's Prison, the best non-targeting back row that many decks are playing. It might look weak at first, but think about the meta right now. There are a decent amount of decks that rely on IDP as the non-targeting interruption. This guy is immune to that most of the time, while also being able to negate targeting effects twice, and punish targeting effects by destroying other cards too. You could go into that, or a bunch of other rank 7s with a new Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon, who is a level 6 monster who can special summon himself from the hand by sending a level 5 or higher normal monster from the hand or deck to the grave. So basically, as long as you are playing a level 5 or higher vanilla in your deck, you get an extender. By doing this, it also increases its own level by 1, so when you summon it, by its own condition it becomes a level 7, which could be used alongside a Red Eyes Black Dragon to go into Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, but because it is a dragon and just requires any level 5 or higher normal monster from the deck, you could potentially splash this as a level 7 extender into other decks that happen to be playing a level 5 or higher vanilla, and by using this as Xyz material for Volothernagus, you can turn the Volo into a quick effect pop. I'm thinking there might be a potential for this alongside a Dark Magician, a Neos, a Dragon Pit Magician, but most likely it's going to be best in a Red Eyes deck, as not only can it foolish a Red Eyes for you to potentially revive with a Spirit the same turn with a new Red Eyes skill, so that you can go into a rank 7, but it also has a grave effect the turn after it's sent to the grave to banish itself to search Red Eyes Fusion. Oh, this card gives the deck some great early game extension and setup, while also helping you to set up a follow-up play, making this a good card to potentially send to the grave using Insight. Being a monster with Red Eyes in the name also helps you to fulfill the deck building requirement of the new Red Eyes skill, so I think this card really breaks that deck wide open. I'm super excited for Red Eyes now that we have this. When it comes to this box overall, we have some really nice generic support for Beast Warrior and Xyz based strategies. We have two really powerful decks that only require this box, and we have really insane support for two existing decks in the game. game. And really, for a mini box, what more could you ask for? I would hold my breath on calling this the best box ever, but that everybody should go into. I don't think it's quite that good, but the amount of sheer value you get from this box, to me, makes it a 4 stars out of 5. But you guys, let us know what you think about the box in the comments below. What cards in this box are you excited about? How would you rate this box out of 5? And if you like the video, then slap like now, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell to get notified every time we make a new video. Have yourselves a good one, guys, and I've been Undead from Team 6K, signing out.
Hey, why they gotta hate on me? I done got me 250,000 views and they still saying they low key. They ain't wanna come work with the kid, but I'm flexing with Zay on beats. How they ask for a spot at the gym, but they leave all the weight on me. I don't ask them to wait on me. They would ask where they gon' be with a song if they wanted the weatherman. I ain't asking to pay no fees. She was homeless and needed a spot. I ain't ask her to pay no lease. I ain't ask her to say no please. I ain't ask her to make no cheese. Scream fake, but it ain't on me. Got clean, so it ain't no streets. Why green if it ain't no keeps? Brought cream, so it ain't no beef. My team say it ain't no chief. My demon, they hang on me. They seemingly ain't no peace. I seen him, he ain't no beast. For real.